It's Disney Detonation coming at you from the Transformative Content Fair U Studios in New Jersey, and I'm your host. And today's vlog will be about Kylo Palo. I initially wasn't going to do a Kylo Palo vlog when I came back from the cruise. I got a whole bunch of video to go through that I was going to do. I had so much that I could do two vlogs worth. I mean, it seems like everyone's attention span can't go past 20 minutes according to the analytics in YouTube Studio. So I'm trying to keep these things a little tighter, even though I tend to just babble a little bit. Anyway, I got back from the cruise yesterday. I don't know if you've ever been on a cruise before, but on the way back, I had one of those levels on my phone, and the ship was listing like an inch and a half in each direction, so it's pretty rough. I still feel like I'm on the ship. Plus, I think I caught something while I'm there. I'm like I got like congestion in my chest, and I'm run down. And then on top of that, there was a couple of commenters that were like, "Why are you picking on Kyle? Like, it's you. Why you're making money off his content?" I'm like, you know what? I have a lot of other content on this channel that's not related to Kylo Palo or Palo, or however you say his last name. I mean, granted, they don't get as many views, but there is other content here. It's like not like I'm focusing on him completely. So, like I don't know if I said this, but when I was on the boat, I had internet connection and I was looking at his videos. And I mean, granted, there was some stuff there that I could pull the goof on him. But like I said before, I was going to focus on this cruise thing. But then he came out with a video today, and one of the main things why I started this vlog is because if somebody's espousing their opinions as facts, I kind of want to call them out on it. And also, if you don't do any research on something and you say something, that I kind of want to backfill, you know, what the story is behind certain things. And so that's what this video is about. I mean, I'll probably come out with another one of these tomorrow. I'm trying to keep this as short as possible. So let me shrink myself because I'm really tired. And I've gone over this a couple of times, and I'm just about done. So this is called Train Stop Canceled.
Remember when there was supposed to be a train coming to Disney Springs? This is where it was going to go. I haven't updated you guys on this in a while. It's been canceled. It's still just the regular bus stop here at Springs. Anyways, though, let's do some shopping.
So he hasn't updated us in a while. But anyways, let's do some shopping. So this was canceled a year ago. It was canceled over a year ago. This was updated in June 28th, 2022. And this article came out prior to that. So from my understanding, Disney canceled the train stop because they didn't want to give funding to Brightline, and they didn't want to give them land. Now, the politicians in Orlando were pushing for this. But for whatever reason, Disney decided no. My opinion is maybe because at that time they had no problem with attendance, and they're not looking to the future. In my opinion. So there's a vlogger which I've mentioned before, Mickey Views, who has a whole synopsis of this where he goes over the different lines and where they were going to go and all the politicians involved. If you're interested, I'm going to put a link to that in the description. And so here is Universal's decision with this. So Universal has given Brightline $125 million and 11 miles worth of track. Of course, this is to Tampa, and for me to fly into Tampa is cheaper than flying into Orlando at some times of the year. But they are still going to have a train stop, from my understanding, to Universal. From my understanding, there's a line that goes from the airport to the convention center, and then you would transfer at the convention center to Universal, or I don't know how the track's going to be laid out, but that's what's going on. I think this is supposed to come, the Tampa Bay line to Universal is supposed to be done by 2030. Okay, so the next video is D23. And I think I have to restart this.
I'm going to take my glasses off because we are about to get serious. Now, the reason why I think we're going to find out a lot here at D23, because it's really been no secret, Walt Disney World, or like the Disney company in itself, has really just not have a good narrative.
So they haven't had a good narrative. A good narrative how? A good narrative with the studios, a good narrative with the parks. What what is a good narrative specifically?
These past couple of years, Bob Iger coming back at the realm has been
Coming back at the realm. Okay, so my opinion, this would be a good narrative to have an opinion on.
honestly, this is the setting at 4 o'clock here at Disney Springs. Weekdays, there's nobody here, at least this week. And the temperature has kind of been cooling down a little bit. It's not too bad anymore. We're getting closer to September where it sort of kind of cools down. Gotta love it here at Disney Springs. I mean, on the weekends at this time, it's usually pretty packed, but weekdays, this is what Disney Springs has been looking like. No one's really hanging around. Get it? Hanger bar?
I mean, this drives me so crazy. So, like I've said before, this is when we usually go. We're usually there for like 2 weeks, 10 days, depending on, what the costs are for flights and the stay. It goes from anywhere from 10 days to 14 days. And we're there a lot of times prior to Labor Day, and we always go to eat at Disney Springs, and I've never seen it like that at this time of the year, especially at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, it's usually elbow to elbow, like especially by the hangar bar area and one of the other places that he's walked through. It's almost, I want to say, frightening at this point, because I don't want to see Disney fail. I don't want to see them just turn into like Six Flags. It's worrisome at this point.
One of those good highlights, but if you look at their stock, the stock is not good right now, and I feel like if Disney doesn't announce something,
from 140 to 182, I think it's at now.
I feel like it's gonna upset a lot of people. I don't know, but like I feel like they always hype it up that they're gonna announce something, they never do. But I feel like this year it's gonna change, especially when
the shareholders meeting already occurred, and a lot of people were unhappy.
It's here at Walt Disney World because Fifth Gate expansions have been rumored and actually announced technically.
Let me back that up a little so people hear it.
Because Fifth Gate expansions have been
Fifth
rumored
Gate.
and actually announced technically from last year. Now, we got to attend at D23 last year in Anaheim, and I believe the panel was A Boundless Future, and we really haven't heard anything regarding that at all this year. They've been hush, 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 but they announced it without any certainty of anything that is going to happen. And more importantly, I feel like something needs to happen this year regarding announcements, because Epic Universe is right around the corner, and that's going to drive a lot of people heading to Universal. And if Bob Iger, Iger in the past, and actually I believe in Q1 of this year, has said that he wants to be very bullish with the theme parks.
And that's true. He did say that. But let's take a look at... I got to make him go away. Okay, so... Here we say this is first quarter. I think this was in February or the end of the first quarter. Iger said, "I am very, very bullish on the theme parks, and not just because of the COVID recovery." So this is before the decline in attendance. But here you can see he's cutting $700 million from the domestic theme parks, meaning the parks in this country are losing $700 million in investment as compared to the parks overseas, like Disney Paris, Shanghai. So he's bullish overseas, but not so bullish here.
And he wants to keep them up to date. And I think this step this year on the weekend of January of September 8th, I think we're going to get some big announcements coming from the Contemporary. But I feel like
we're going to get big announcements from the Contemporary. Like, what does that even mean?
All this happens every single year, but I feel like I have more faith in it this year. This year it's going to be called a celebration.
Now, why would you I appreciate the optimism, but why would you have more faith in it this year? The stocks is in the tank. They're not. They're taking $700 million away from investing in the parks. The attendance has crashed. I mean, where's the optimism?
Of Disney parks experiences and products yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And I think tomorrow is that key word because, in my opinion, that is something that is hinting updates. Updates, but what updates? By the way,
At least he said it's his opinion. All right. So the next clip is called "Kyla Can Read."
now if we look at the details on what this event entails, it says that Josh D'Amaro.
If you look at the details of what this event entails, wow.
Special guest for an entertaining presentation looking to the future of Disney parks, featuring updates from around the world and some fun surprises along the way. We're gonna get something, and it makes sense to announce stuff here at Walt Disney World because I feel like it's obviously really needed here at Walt Disney World. But what I'm most looking forward to is the fun surprises. Hopefully that doesn't mean like characters. We need something big. We already know about the Hatbox Ghost, the new Epcot Nighttime Spectacular, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the new Disney Polynesian Hotel, the Epcot construction that they're probably going to give us an update on, hint, hint, Moana probably in September. In my opinion, that's not the big stuff, especially with how long Epcot has been taking to get completed. In my opinion, the big things are going to be the Blue Sky projects, Zootopia, Moana coming to Animal Kingdom that they had previously announced last year at Anaheim. It seems rather fitting for this to finally be cemented into Disney World. We'll see, but there's other things.
So he talked about the Polynesian. He made it seem as though there was a new Polynesian resort, which is completely not true. So it's a DVC addition to the Polynesian resort. So unless you're a DVC member or you buy points on the open market, it's basically just an extension of the hotel for DVC club members. They did the same thing to the Contemporary. I don't know the name of the expansion. I mean, they did have a pretty cool not hotel, but it is a hotel, but a cool restaurant on top. But I think you could only get there if you were a DVC member. And Blue Sky, a lot of people probably don't even know what Blue Sky is. Blue Sky is like a think tank for Disney, in the sense that they come up with ideas for the parks. So here you go. This is what they announced last year. So they were extensions to Frontierland. I think also Animal Kingdom, and I forget what else. But the concepts for these projects are like preliminary designs, as you can see here. It's basically like a think tank that they come up with these things, and they may or may not happen, and a lot of them don't happen. And I think the most recent Blue Sky announcement, or something that was leaked from Blue Sky, was the Galactic Star Cruiser, which is now finished. And just to go over some things that, they announce a lot of things that never happen. Here is, this goes away, sorry. And so here is in 2019, in D23 2019, they said they were going to have an expansion in the in Epcot at the England Pavilion for a Mary Poppins ride, but they postponed it. I think they blamed it on COVID at the time. So you can see a lot of these things never happen. And when it comes to the fifth gate is the addition of a new park. And here we have an announcement. On May 1st of this year, breaking, Disney World's fifth park officially announced. And here we go. It's the Force World. This is nonsense. So this is Mousetrap News, which is like the Onion for the Disney. But they're constantly, saying there's a fifth gate coming. There's a fifth gate coming. And with Disney taking $700 million out of investing in parks, I don't see a fifth gate coming. So that's it for today. I just wanted to go over a couple of these things because I've been away, and I had a whole bunch of other stuff to go additionally here, but I'm just too tired to get through it. And I'll probably put it together tomorrow at some point. But tonight is done, and I'm glad whoever's watching is watching. End transmission.